Shall we? Let us close our eyes. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Om, O gods, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. O ye adorable ones, may we see with our eyes what is auspicious. May we sing praises to ye and enjoy with a strong body and limbs our lives that is allotted to us by the gods. Om, peace, peace, peace. The aim of life is to realize God. The aim of life is to realize God, to turn God into our daily reality and remain immersed in contemplation of Him. The aim of life is to realize God and remain immersed in contemplation of Him. God is one's very own. It is the eternal relationship. He is everyone's own. One realizes Him in proportion to the intensity of one's feeling for Him. God is one's very own. It is the eternal relationship. He is everyone's own. One realizes Him in proportion to the intensity of one's feelings for Him. Holy Mother, Sri Sarada Devi. She said it all. Yet, we don't seem to internalize this. The aim of life is to realize God and to remain immersed in contemplation of Him. Good morning, everyone. I think you all know me by now. Some of you, first time I see your faces. My name is Swami Dhyanayogananda. I'm one of the monks from the Vedanta Society of Southern California. Thank you for having me. Today's topic is how to lead a God-centered life. So, the question is how? I guess when we have the how, then when we want to know the how, we already know the why, do we? By now, all of you have been in this spiritual path for so many years. You know the why, I'm sure. So let's try to understand how. Many of you may say, oh, Swami, we know that. Yes, really? Show it to me. So let us first define what God is. God is our very own. It is the eternal relationship. But what is God? Such a question. It's not so easy to answer. So we will try. We find that the concept of God differs from person to person. How many of us here? We have different concepts and ideas of God. And also from religion to religion. If there is a God, why is there so much difference in how people view that God? The truth is that God is one being whom we don't know, and yet whom we cannot but say something about him. Interesting. We don't seem to know him, yet we can't stop talking about God. No, he's the creator, he's unfair, he's not just, he's our savior. Thus, people have different concepts of God. Even the person who says, I don't believe in God, is only dismissing his concept of God. What do we dismiss? Conceptions, ideas of God. That's all. If you ask somebody, which God are you talking about? He may say, the God who sits in heaven and drops down all these planets. I don't believe in that God. Even the person who dismisses God is only dismissing his own concept of God. You see it. But whether dismissed or not, one always has some concept of God. The highest thought we can all conceive with our human minds. That's the common ground for all of us. We may conceive him with different names and different forms, but in all of us, he's the highest thought we can conceive. That is a concept, an idea we ourselves conceive. Ourselves. We cannot really avoid the question, what is God? Because it is part of our psyche. Whether you have dismissed or accepted God, his existence remains a mystery to you. For you find yourself in a given scheme of things that consist of certain laws. We find ourselves here in this world, and we cannot deny certain laws of nature. These laws are many and varied, but they do form a universe. There is a given world, a given scheme of things as they are. And in this scheme of things, all of us, we find we are people, individuals. And this individual has certain characteristics, certain qualities. A physical body that is alive, that was born alive, is capable of growing old, subject to aging, and you know the rest. These are given facts, facts of life, Vivekananda says. When I look at this body, I find it consists of certain laws. The body is caused by and is subject to certain biological laws. There are also physiological laws that govern the body, and there are indeed psychological laws that govern the mind, our ability to remember, to recall. There are laws governing our knowing and not knowing. All these laws can be brought under one word. I spoke about this yesterday. Order. There is a physical order outside, a biological order, psychological order, physiological order, and there is an intellectual or epistemological order. All these constitute one huge order that is given to us. It's interesting we say, my body. It's been given to us. Within this order, we have certain freedom, don't you think? Yes, we do have certain freedom. You are here because not that somebody pushed you to come, or maybe your wife, or vice versa, but you are here out of your will. You decided, okay, let's go to the Vedanta Society today. Let's see what this Swami wants to talk about. Mhm. So within this order, we do enjoy certain freedom. All as beings, as human beings, we are empowered with a freedom to desire, a freedom to will. Sometimes we call it free will. And we have the freedom to act, the freedom to accomplish. And all this has been given to us. In this order, we have the power to know. You want to know. The power to explore. All this is given to us. The seat of our emotions, the faculty of knowing, the sense organs, all of that, you know. In order for me to see this world as well as I do, my physical body, mind, sense complex is implied by, is part of this given universe. And when I increase my knowledge and see the world more clearly, both that capacity and that knowledge are also given to me. So much is given, in fact, that no one can say that he or she has created something, has done, has written something, or discovered something. The truth is that nobody can claim to be the author of anything, including the person who has discovered something not known before. And we come to this virtue of humility. is simply understanding the world, the universe, and its laws, and even ourselves because we are part of it. There must be something already out there for any of us to, quote, discover. So many things are already there. Hmm? Contribution from others that help us discover, and we don't even acknowledge sometimes. Nobody truly is an author of anything. You are mostly all from India, right? You know that in ancient times, I don't know now, maybe you put your name and signature, Western style. But in the past, all these pieces of art, writings, had no name. We don't know the author. Even in our scriptures, we say, oh, it was Vyasa. Do you think Vyasa was just one person? Even Shankaracharya. How many Shankaracharyas? Or sometimes it's a revelation. We call it Veda. In India, we find that many works in Sanskrit don't even have authors. They're anonymous because they understood things are given to us and we should not claim authorship. But there is a fact. Even though that potential is given, we also have the capacity to tap into that potential, meaning it is up to us to do it. We have that freedom. And this is a unique capacity of all human beings, humans only. Are we all humans here? Unique living beings indeed. We have that capacity, that freedom. When a child asks the fundamental question, Dad, tell me, who made all this? The father can only say what he himself was told when he was young and never questioned it afterwards. When he was young, he was told that God made all these. But this boy wasn't satisfied. He persists his question. What is that God? Have you seen him? The father says, I have not seen him. I hope to see him. He's in heaven. Who created heaven? Says the boy. Quite rational, huh? Father says, gets a little serious and says, of course, God created heaven. The child, where was God before God created heaven? The father didn't know what to say. Where was God before he created heaven? In hell, for sure. It was so hot in there, there was no AC, and therefore he said, okay, let's be in a more pleasant place, let's create heaven. Hmm? created hell? The boy finally asked. And where was God before he created hell? And the father goes, shut up. And this is all of us. We are asked to shut up. We are not encouraged to think. The truth is that our minds cannot easily give up this questioning. This happened to me, as a matter of fact, when I was a kid. I was asked to shut up. You are grown enough to ask these questions. I was probably 7, 8 years old, I don't remember now. But we are encouraged not to think, to stop thinking, to stop inquiring. Later in life, you find yourself to be an agnostic. You don't want to even say the word God. We archive the topic, but the truth is that it remains in the background, somewhere suspended. There are so many things going on here in this world. We are so busy, engaged in so many things. We have to pay the bills, the kids, send them to school, send them to college. And so it goes all of a sudden, 60, 70, I guess I should retire now. And here we are. We can never dismiss our own reason. This question is so important, so extremely important, because it affects our personal life. Unless this question is answered to some extent, we'll feel insecure and uncertain about ourselves. Everyone is born helpless, and to compensate, everyone is born with the capacity to trust totally. How is that? Well, remember, we were all babies. Once upon a time, we were all babies. And who do we have to trust completely? We were helpless. Our mother, help, waha, waha, no? And so, just like as babies, we found ourselves helpless, we were crying for help. And the help came. Indeed, that is an intelligent thing to do. And when somebody offers help, we need to be able to trust that person. If somebody offers you help, and you don't trust him at all, then what will be the result? A baby is born helpless, and therefore it needs to trust. It trusts totally until it starts growing up. The child grows up and he realizes that mom and dad are not almighty. They don't have all the answers. You lose trust, and afterwards, all your life, all you are searching for is that infallible. Our whole life is in search for that infallible. And unless we discover that infallible, we feel insecure. Who is that infallible, incapable of making mistakes? We call him God. Apparently, depending on how God is introduced in our lives, God is presented as to all of us as all the good things, and the opposite qualities are said to be the devil, Satan. Isn't that true? Well, I was raised in the Catholic religion, so whatever wasn't good was Satan. Mm? And as a result, what happens to us? Mm? We have a vertical division in our psyche. We are split. In Vedanta, the vision of God is a whole vision without such a split. And that's the beauty. Makes so much sense. The truth is that there cannot be many versions of God, like the fact that 1 plus 1 equals 2. The truth about the nature of God is not open for any kind of accommodation. You cannot choose to have 1 plus 1 equals 3. It's not a cultural option, like you choose some music, some style. You can say that music is open to choice, but 1 plus 1 equals 2. In this country, in any other country, you cannot say, Swami, in India, 1 plus 1 equals 3. It's universal. And so there is not such option when it comes to God either. If God is a reality, then definitely we all have to discover that reality. The Vedas tells us all these, whatever moves in this world, is to be pervaded by what we call Ishvara, the Lord. Om Ishavashyamidam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat. Isha Upanishad. All that is here is Ishvara. These are revelations. You have your senses as a source of knowledge. You see, it's a pen. Yes, Swami, it's a pen. There is a smoke. There must be fire. Pretty sure. And then, just like you trust your parents when you're a baby, you trust the scriptures. You trust these revelations of our teachers. The good thing is that they all talk about the same reality. All saints, world teachers, talk about exactly the same. Jesus the Christ message has no difference to our teachers here. Buddha, all talk about the same thing, so we have to trust. We have to use our intuition capacity we all have within us and make sense. They all experience the same. Why not? Let me try. What do we do? Now they are special people. This is our birthright. This is for all of us. There is a reality already. We cannot deny it. We are already divine beings. You have to accept it. Vedanta demands you accept it. Well, you may say, I'm full of shortcomings, Swami. I don't feel divine. That's all right. Gold also can be soiled with dirt, but it's gold. Therefore, in Vedic culture, we are advised for our own sanity to look at all that is here in this world as Ishvara, the Lord. North, south, east, and west. We are surrounded. Well, I see walls. Shh. See the Lord. Feel the Lord. Experience the Lord. Trust the teachings. Trust the revelations, and you will see what happens. There is nothing other than Ishvara. The Veda is not saying that there is one God. It says there is only God. That's pretty heavy. Everything that is here is Ishvara alone. And we are here like in a play, you know. The only way out of all this is to discover it. But looks like we already heard about it. Yet, what happens? We don't seem to accept it fully. Take it. Make it yours. Live in it. Transform your daily reality. It is our freedom to do it. You don't want to, you're not interested, all right, don't complain. We are here to live in that reality. Is it possible though? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's just a matter of making a choice. Do you want to live a body-centered life or a life centered in the reality of that one without a second? We call him Brahman. Do you want to live a body-centered life or a life centered in that reality? That one single reality. God is a circle whose circumference is nowhere and whose center is everywhere. Human beings, all of us, are also circle. We are all circles whose circumference is nowhere also, but whose center is in some body. The goal of life is to change the center. Change the center. Accept it. Stop being the center of your life, and you will see what happens. No, Swami, because I'm good, I'm a dharmic person, I'll go to Swarga after this. Swarga is here and now. You might get a good karma, your punya might take you somewhere for a while, apparently. It is our right to experience heaven here and now. It is our choice. We've had enough experience already. And us being the centers. There is anxiety, there is suffering, there is pain. We cry. And then we die. Because then only you die. When you separate yourself from your real identity. If you accept your reality as being one with God, you'll never die. All these definitions we find in our scriptures, chapter number 2, Bhagavad Gita, about who we are, the Atman, will become real in your daily life. We've had enough experience. And that experience should make sense. Accumulated experience makes common sense. And we should use our common sense. We have to make sense of this reality. We are not here to take, give me, give me, give me. We are here to give ourselves. Just like everything is given to us. As long as we live our lives centered in our bodies, there will be no stop to our suffering. A body-centered life, a body-centered life is a life centered in our likes and dislikes. Think about yourself. What are you? Nothing but a bundle of all your likes and dislikes that shape what you think you are, your persona, your personality. Analyze this. No, I am so and so. Who are you, so and so? Well, I like this, and that's how I am. I dislike that. That's how I am, who I am. A body-centered life is a life centered in our likes and dislikes that shape our personality and identity. And this is very deep. The goal is stop liking, stop disliking. The goal is to come back, to be united with our reality, the only reality that exists. What did Jesus Christ said? I and my Father are one. Not mine, not yours. The only identity, God. God is not a person sitting beyond the clouds. God is defined as the invisible, all pervading intelligent principle in the universe, pervading all the laws, the cosmic network of laws which maintain this creation in rhythm and harmony. To live is inevitable. We are all here. We all have roles in life. You are a parent. Well, my children are now grown up. You're still a parent. We all have to go and make a living. We all occupy certain roles. Many of these roles were your choices. You wanted that. If you didn't want that, it was up to you to change that too. We are all here to live in the reality of God. Why? Because in that only oneness is where we can find peace. Because in seeing myself in others, I find peace. Peace is all we need. Peace is all we want. We are here to experience and give, participate in this world as contributors. We are here to contribute. Now you may say, Swami, what do you mean? How can I contribute? How do I live a God-centered life? Krishna's message to Arjuna is so clear. Simply give me your mind. Simply give me your intellect. Learn to live your life with me as a center, as the center, and I will take care of you. Surrender. Can we do that? Can we embrace this principle that can only make sense when we think about it? There is nothing we can do. We are all trapped here. We cannot run away. It's a huge magnet, you know. We all have to live and come back to that source. So it's a matter of choice. You want to do this or not? And guess where we are now? The basic of Hinduism. Shreyascha preyascha manushyametastav samparitya vivinaksidiraha Shreyo hidhiro vipreya so brunite preyo mando yogakshemat brunite. What is that? You remember that? Katha Upanishad. Shreyascha preyascha manushyame tastau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha Shreyo hit dhiro preyaso brunite preyo mando yogakshemat brunite. Both the good and the pleasant approach the mortal. The intelligent man examines and distinguishes them, for the intelligent man prefers the good to the pleasant. And we are all intelligent people here. We were all given intellects. Stop being slaves. The ignorant man chooses the pleasant for the sake of his body. Too bad, huh? Not that you hate your body or anything like that. It is a law. Life is for you, not you for life. Swamiji, our revered hero here, Swami Vivekananda says, here there are two Sanskrit words. The one is pravritti. You know all this. This is basic Hinduism, huh? But now, does it make more sense? The one is pravritti, which means revolving towards. The other is nivritti, which means revolving away. The revolving towards is what we call the world, the I and mine. It includes all those things which are always enriching that me, me, me. By wealth and money and power, name and fame, and which are of the grasping nature, always tending to accumulate everything in one center, that center being, quote, myself. I know it's painful. I'm sorry. That is pravritti, the natural tendency of every human being taking everything from everywhere and heaping it around one center, that center being man's own sweet self. When this tendency begins to break, and I hope it is our case, then it is nivritti, or going away from. Then begins morality and what we call true religion. This is the value we talked about yesterday. Both pravritti and nivritti are of the nature of work. The former is evil work. The latter is good work. You dissolve yourself. You are no longer the center of your work. This nivritti is the fundamental basis of all morality and all religion, and the very perfection of it. Its entire self-abnegation, and the very perfection of it is entire self-abnegation, readiness to sacrifice mind and body and everything for another being. What do you think? Is this too hard to take? But there is no other way. What's the point of going on like this? We have to take charge of our lives. We have to start right now a relationship with God within us and in everybody, everywhere. That goes beyond time, so don't feel it's too late. It's never late. All does it take is wake up. And then you make the decision to become a devotee. Then you can call yourself a devotee. Devoted, committed, committed person. We are all devotees for different things we fall in love in life. But if at all we have to fall in love, we have to fall in love with the highest. Then only we'll become that. A dedicated person, a committed person is what we call a devotee. Usually, no, Swami devotee, according to Bhakti Yoga that I read so many years ago, it says that I have to, my wish Ishta Devata, and then the flower. Devotee means commitment, full time, no breaks, 24/7, your whole life. It's not that you finish your ritual and it's over. You're safe for the day. You have to be coherent. 24/7. A constant ritual, constant worship. Why? Why do we have to make that effort? Because there is no other way. We are pulled outside by the laws of nature. We are dragged into this world. We become slaves. So we have to say enough. Like Swami Sri Dhyanayogananda says, enough is enough. The one whose life is not separate from Ishvara at any time. Mayeva mana adatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivasishyasi mayeva ata urduham na samshayaha. You know this verse? Chapter number 12, verse number 8. One of my favorite verses. From the Gita, of course. Mayeva mana adatsva. Fix your mind in me. Alone. Fix your mind in me. Alone. That's all you need to do. Surrender your intellect to me. All your reasoning capacity. Be sure, be convinced there is no other way. We can't escape the laws of nature. We have to stop living in this duality. Duality means fear and suffering. Fix your mind in me. Surrender your intellect to me. Thereupon, you will always, always live in me. Of that, there is no doubt. Isn't it great? Sweet. There you have it. Whole teaching. The more we do this, the more we offer our work, our lives, our mind will get slowly and slowly purified. We are all mumukshus. We are all heading there. Let's do this consciously. In that effort, our minds will get clearer and clearer, and we will be convinced of this. But we have to do it. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 3, verse number 30th, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirashi nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatachura. Again, beautiful verse. Mai again, to me, sarvani karmani, all your actions, sannyasa, renouncing all your actions to me. Which means all your actions? Everything. Even your dreams. Everything, without judgment. Renouncing all your actions to me. It's like an offering. With mind centered in the self, knowing the truth, you cannot deny your reality as one with Brahman. We call it Atman. Getting rid of hope and selfishness, expectations. Fight, says Krishna. I say live in this world free of anxiety. I apologize. Is Thakur here? I know. That means I have to wrap up. How strange. I thought I had put this in. There you go. So let's summarize. Being aware of our own nature. We hear this again and again. You are no bodies. You are a divine being already. The goal of life is to manifest that divinity in every single action of your life. Not centered in your body, centered in the self. And yourself is not different than mine. Being aware of our own nature, the self, the Atman, our divinity, we have to make it a point to lead a life centered in the spirit. Dedicate every action to that infinite being we call the Lord, Ishvara. Invoke the doer-giver relationship. Invoke the doer-giver relationship. He's the one providing everything to me. How do we invoke this relationship? Give me your mind, surrender your intellect. Remember him. That's why we have symbols. That's why we have words which carry meaning. That's why from ancient times we are encouraged to remember God. We become what we meditate upon. If we keep meditating in God, guess what's going to happen? You will shine. In this verse, Krishna encourages us to drop all expectations. Lead your life, work, giving your best. Because every single action of yours is worship. And if you're going to go for the flower, it has to be a fresh one, not a rotten flower. Make sure whatever you do in life, you do it correctly, with your whole attention, your whole heart. That will take care of pretty much everything in life. Most of the time, you will get very good results. If you see it from the worldly eyes, you become more efficient, more successful in life. Abhyudaya nishrayasa. Prosperity will come to you. So if you are a business-oriented person, you'll say, "Oh, that sounds good." Hmm? But what happens slowly, you become nobody. So you also have to take that. We have to understand that we are here to contribute. We own nothing. We are simply using these gifts that are coming from the Lord. Even our own bodies are mere instruments for us to behold the beauty. And we have to develop the courage. We have to develop that strength to accept the gift, Ishvara Prasada, coming from the Lord. Without judgment, all is auspicious. Be confident. All the challenges in life are for you to be perfect. How do we lead a God-centered life? You're going to start here and now. It's your call. Acknowledge the one and single reality everywhere, whose center is everywhere. And if it is everywhere, it has to be in you too. You are not separate from it. What is the aim of life? Asked a disciple. Holy Mother said, to realize God and remain immersed in His contemplation. He knew all this. She. That is Holy Mother for you. See our great teachers. What is the aim of life? Is to turn God into a reality and remain immersed in His contemplation. Let's start doing that because it is our call. God is one's very own. It is the eternal relationship. Eternal relationship. Means beyond time. No past, no future. Always present. He is everyone's own. One realizes Him in proportion. In proportion. In proportion to the intensity of one's feelings for Him. That means the only difference is your degree of commitment. What did Sri Ramakrishna say? Go crazy. People are crazy for wealth, for name. What is that? He said, I am crazy for God. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that outer world is Purna, full of divine consciousness. This inner world